Hey guys, Donnie here with RightWager.com. Monday Night Football free pick video. Those Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings coming off a nice rest, getting their bye week. And the last time we saw the Seattle Seahawks playing versus the Philadelphia Eagles, picking up a victory on the East Coast at Lincoln Financial Field. This game is going to be played tonight in Seattle. And the one thing we always like to look at when we have a game in Seattle is what are the conditions going to be like weather-wise. Not too bad tonight. Low 40s. Looks like wind conditions 2 to 3 miles an hour and no precipitation. Seems like a perfect night to play football up in Seattle. If we look at some of the angles in this game, like we're going to go a little bit against the grain in this football game. Both of these teams very good. I mean, take a look at Seattle vying for the NFC West, and also taking a look at the Minnesota Vikings needing a victory to keep pace with the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North. Looking at this game overall, if we look at just the lines here offshore, primarily at -2.5 with juice. Some outlets here in New Jersey, DraftKings and Sugar House, showing a -3, -104, -3, 103. But we'll go with the prevailing number for the full game at 2.5. If we look at the totals here, opened up 48.5, 49, depending on where you're shopping at. Those are now looking 48.5 across the board. Tonight, we're going to take a little bit of an outside concept and look at a first half wager to see if we can pick up some money on this free play big game breakdown video. When we look overall and just going over the Minnesota Vikings on the season, in the first half, they're averaging 14 points per game, and in the half totals are right around 25 points. Almost similar to what Seattle we're looking at here. 13 points per game in the first half for the Seattle Seahawks, and overall 25 points as a total in the first half through both of these teams' first 11 games on the season. Here's a little bit of a discrepancy here that we can sort of pick on. In the first half, just winning straight up 6-3-2 straight up for the Minnesota Vikings. If we flip it over to the Seattle Seahawks, a little bit less, 4-6-1. Now, if we try to isolate some spots here and look on the road, Minnesota Vikings are 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 pushes straight up in the first half. And then if we take a look at the Seattle Seahawks, actually 1-3-1 straight up in the first half of those football games. Now, if we take a look at some of the offshore numbers that are popping up here for a spread, primarily those Minnesota Vikings getting +2 in the first half. Now, some of the game conditions that we want to look at here, as we stated, Adam Thielen not going to play in this football game, star wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Hasn't played in the past few football games and maybe hoping to get back for the playoff push over the next week or two, but that hamstring certainly not helping him out much. Stephon Diggs will still be in this football game. Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins playing at a very high level. When we flip it over to the Seattle Seahawks, Jadeveon Clowney looks like he is going to give it a go. How much he'll be able to do and perform tonight in the game will have to be seen. Obviously, with that abdominal injury, missed the game in Philadelphia, hoping to play tonight in this tilt. Look, Russell Wilson, it's hard to beat Seattle and Seattle. We understand that. So we're going to pick on a first half and go with the Minnesota Vikings +2. I think this game is going to be a tough, hard-fought game. You're going to get good conditions, and I do like the fact that the only time it seems like this Minnesota Vikings do have troubles in football games are due to playing on grass surfaces and have dominated on artificial turf. As we know in Seattle at CenturyLink Stadium, this is an artificial surface. Good weather conditions. We're going to lean on the Minnesota Vikings tonight, taking the +2 in the first half. I do think there'll be some points in this football game, but I like to isolate and say, you know what? If the game's tied at the half, you're going to pick up the victory. If the Minnesota Vikings obviously are leading at the half, you're also going to pick up some money as well. So we'll go against the grain tonight. We're going to take those Minnesota Vikings +2 in the first half. If you like the content on this YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button. And for all premium wagers, check out RightWager.com. Good luck on those wagers tonight. If you like this sports betting content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, check out rightwager.com for all the latest sports betting information, and give me a follow on Twitter @RightSideVP.